open phone hour at 989-752-6111. And joining me in studio again today, Jonathan Dent. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, you were out watching the golfers this morning.
Yes.
How did we do?
I did pretty well.
What was the closest?
13 feet.
13 feet.
So the guy that got 13 feet called the guy who had 14 feet and let him know.
They must know each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I wonder if he'll have him on his team.
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah, the closest to the pins are underway for the WSGW Winvitational, which is being held on the 23rd at the Sawmill. Today we were at Bay Valley. Boy, does that
It's
look...
my first time being out there.
Yeah,
it's nice.
it's very nice. They've done a pretty good job out there, and they're still working on it.
Yeah.
I was talking to Doug Temple, who's the director of golf, and his brother happens to be the superintendent of all the greens and everything. And they've done a darn nice job out there. Very, very nice.
It's beautiful
Property
out there.
looks good. Yeah, I mean, it really is. And they've got their Wyndham sign up for the hotel. So they are now officially a Wyndham property.
There you go.
So good for them.
And there's a variety out there. It's not some golf courses. Almost all the holes look the same. But
No, that's not true on that one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Played that course years and years ago, many, many times. And no, the whole song. They don't look the same. Anyway, folks, open phones this hour, whatever you'd like to chat about at 989-752-6111. And looks like the weather from here on out is going to be early to late summer-like. So we've broken the back of winter finally.
Yeah. We've made it.
Yeah.
I will take it.
Me too.
Could use a little bit of rain, but
I heard that yesterday on one of the farm reports. I think it might have been I think it was Terry's show. I heard it on that they were saying that they could use a little rain.
yeah.
So
It's been kind of dry. Going to be kind of dry for a bit.
Forecast says maybe spotty rain Friday. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe and spotty in the same sentence
Well,
there. Yep.
I hope not early because I'm at an outing on Friday.
Oh.
So
Well,
we want decent golf weather. I want
be
decent
fine.
golf. I don't know if I'll have that. So,
probably decent golf weather you can
well, you can.
count on a little bit,
Yeah, I mean,
but decent golf, that's up to you.
thanks. Yeah, thanks for telling me that.
Yep.
That's for sure. Well, let's see what's happening here. I pulled a couple of things offline that some of them interested me. I'm interested, of course, in what happens in the media. And the CBS franchise is having their issues right now, particularly 60 Minutes.
Really?
And a name who should be familiar to most who have ever watched that show, Scott Pelley, is one of the longtime correspondents for 60 Minutes. He has taken to task the president, or the editor, if you will, of CBS News, Chief Barry Weiss. He claims she is murdering the news institution.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, there are those who I know, and I'm going to say it now because you know it's true out there. There are those people who say that people like Scott Pelley murdered the institution and brought bias to news and all of that stuff. The 60 Minutes franchise has been around, I don't know,
Longer than
decades,
I've been around.
Decades
Yeah.
and decades. And Pelley has accused her of having slender qualifications. And the guy she just named as editor-in-chief of the program also supposedly having slender qualifications. I suspect a lot of what's happening at CBS when Barry was brought in has to do with trying to neutralize them.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're reacting very well on the inside.
I I don't know.
I don't either. And now
because they keep that stuff very under wraps. They're not. Nobody's going to say anything about that. But
Pelly did.
Yeah.
But one of the consequences of all that's happening is, of course, CBS radio news went away.
Yep.
And now we have ABC, and it's been seamless. They seem to be doing a fine job. Can't complain. But it's just interesting to see how much turmoil there is inside the network when the ownership, Ellison in this case, wants changes, puts people in to make changes. The underlings don't react well.
No.
Not at all. They don't like change.
No, because especially in those situations when there's changes being made and people aren't told the direction of those changes, it creates uncertainty. Oh, am I in danger here?
Yeah, supposedly that was going to be attempted at CNN. But
I heard that too,
but I haven't seen anything.
No.
Not after watching some of the stuff on there. I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any of that.
I hadn't heard that CBS was going to be moving more neutral, but I had heard that.
Ellison had made some comments when he first took over.
Okay.
Paramount, the ownership, and he put her in there, Barry Weiss specifically, to start making changes and waves, and she's doing both.
But that's what people want now. Like the pendulum swung so far out to just opinion that's where the distrust in the media comes from. I kind of think it's too little too late. There's already been other things that have come in to fill that void for younger generations when it comes to consuming news.
Absolutely, for younger generations, no doubt.
You're not going to get that audience back.
That's why podcasts are doing so well.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we just celebrated when Ted Turner died. They celebrated the formation of CNN.
Mm-hmm.
The concept was interesting, and a lot of people looked forward to it when it came on the air, when it first came on. And cable wasn't as huge as it is today. But what they discovered was there wasn't enough news for 60 minutes an hour, 24 hours a day.
Nope.
So they started bringing in these talking head panels. And slowly but surely you saw the shift from neutrality to position.
It became less news analysis and more news opinion.
And then it started sneaking into the news itself.
Yeah.
And I attribute a lot of that to the fact that they had to fill 24 hours. And that's the path they chose to fill it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you have to say the same thing about Fox, because Fox came along and they don't have 24 hours of news either, and they've got the same talking head panels with a different slant.
Yep.
So it's where we are today. It's just not the news of Edward R. Murrow. He'd be turning over in his grave. Walter Cronkite, all those guys. In the early days of television journalism and broadcast journalism, the journalists all came up from the print media, where they were journalists.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them had been war correspondents.
Knew how to dig into a story.
Knew how to dig into stories.
Yep.
And we got the news. And if you wanted the opinion, you turned to the editorial page. Not so anymore.
I have
a funny story. When I first came here in 1974, the man running the radio station had me record an introduction to his editorials.
Oh, yeah.
We used to do editorials.
Yep.
The general manager would do them. We had a consultant in California, so I had to send my open and close to them. The open and close was, and now here is an editorial comment from the desk of so-and-so. We got back a nasty note from the guy in California. Desks don't talk.
Right.
It's not from the desk of.
Everybody knows what that means, though.
Well, yeah, but that's back
Yeah.
in the day. They were nitpicking,
Yep.
So we had to change it. But I always chuckled at that. Line's open for you, whatever you'd like to talk about, 989-752-6111. But out of curiosity, and we've talked about this before, where do you get your news today? What sources do you trust? We'll talk about that and more. Coming up, let me take a moment to ask how you slept last night, because in this world we live in today, when you go to bed and you theoretically spend a third of your life there, you really need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured your mattress is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And by the way, they feature a 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home. Now, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. You can visit Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them online at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 1935.
Ready to update your home and
Hi, back with you with the Art Lewis Show, hour number 2. Jonathan Dent joining me in studio, and on the phones, Tim is in Hemlock. Tim, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art and Jonathan. Nice to have the opportunity to speak with you. I was out working in the yard listening to the radio, and I just said, I've got to call in on this one. One of the major problems in our country is the lack of legitimate news. News is turned into entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell you what you want to hear, and there's the art of journalism, or the science of journalism, is lost. I mean, there are still sources that you can find quality news that's balanced, but it's not. It certainly isn't Fox. I mean, everybody has to pay attention to the fact that Fox agreed to pay $784 million for lying about the stolen election.
Not CNN either.
I don't know
But
who
here's the
accuses
other thing.
either
Back
of
in
them
the
of being
day-
balanced.
Here's the thing, Tim, and I think
Well, let me just finish
this
with
is
one point.
all right. Go ahead.
Back in the day that you were talking about, the FCC actually had rules that if you owned a radio station in a certain area, you could own one newspaper, but other companies had to own a radio station or a newspaper. I mean, you had to get your news from different sources. And I read the autobiography by Walter Cronkite. I think it's called A Reporter's Story.
Yeah.
And the in-depth detail they went into just to figure out what should be the lead story, and can we confirm all of this? If we can't confirm it,
Yep.
we're not going to put it on the air. That's my point.
Here's the other issue, and this is in some ways reinforces what you're saying. In general, people only listen to what they want to hear. They don't
That's
listen to
right.
the other side. So if you're leaning to the left, you're going to gravitate to CNN. If you're leaning to the right, you're going to gravitate to Fox. And you're never going to hear the other side. And that's too bad. It's too bad that we've lost that neutrality. In the early days of journalism and newspapers were biased. There's no two ways about it. I mean, even their banners were biased. It was the so and so. It was the so and so Republican, the so and so Democrat. Every now and then, every now and then you had a Saginaw News, but in all newspapers you knew one thing. If you wanted the news, you read the news sections of the paper, and you got unbiased journalism. If you wanted the opinion of the paper, you went to the editorial page.
Exactly. They separated themselves.
And that's
on
long blurred. Long
I'd
blurred.
say it's blurred is a polite way of saying it, I suppose. It's become entertainment, and we are living. Well, a long time ago, you said get your sources from many different places.
Exactly.
Well, one thing I would never do is use social media. I would never be on Facebook and try to get news and information. You actually had a caller one time where you went through about a 10-minute interview to the show, and the last person I would listen to, or the last group of people, would be the pundits, the political pundits. And the first caller led off with, I like O'Reilly. I'm thinking, that's the pundit.
Mm-hmm.
That's
He's
the
one of
guy
them.
that comes on.
He's a pundit.
He's a pundit, and that's exactly what you said, stay away from. Search out your information, verify it. I mean, for a lot of things you're talking about with CNN, and you didn't bring up anything else, but I believe PBS is as good as the BBC, NPR is as good as the BBC. But let's look at what we actually watched on January the 6th. We didn't need a news reporter. We didn't need anybody to tell us.
We had a camera.
Just shut the sound. Yeah. Shut the sound down and watch what's going on. And now, apparently, according to one network, it really never happened. They actually invited them in. And that information comes from the president. It was a peaceful demonstration. Do you believe it was peaceful, Art?
No. Oh, no. Never said that.
No, not at all.
No, that was not.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
All righty. Good enough, Tim. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
the
much.
call. Thanks, buddy. Take care.
Yeah,
Bye-bye
thank
now.
you. Bye.
And we have another Tim waiting for us. This is Tim in, Tim in Midland. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Part of the deal, Lewis. How we doing?
Great.
Hey, great conversation, gentlemen. I agree with what the previous caller said. Yeah, the news out there is completely, it's propaganda, most of it. I mean, the Fox News, he used air quotes around news on that one. It's just it's a Trump propaganda network. But going back, this is not anything new. The CIA ran something called Operation Mockingbird starting in the late 40s and early 50s. And they had people on the payroll of a lot of these, the major newspapers and networks around the country. So this has been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, but it was not as it was not as widespread. That was a targeted thing they had, but you still could get lots of good, unbiased journalism.
Correct. Yeah.
Not as much anymore today.
Right. Not anymore. And it's like you got to pick and choose. How do I get my news? It's like I try to get a little bit of here and there. I literally cannot turn on Fox News anymore. I throw up in my mouth just listening to them just rave how great Trump is, and it's just it's terrible. And I think their average audience, what I heard last time, Fox News average audience is 69 years old.
Their average audience is several times bigger than their nearest competition, too, though. So that's got to tell you something.
Yeah, I'm not denying that, but I'm sure it's dying, though. I'm sure it's a shrinking audience there.
I wouldn't go that far because I'll tell you why I wouldn't go that far, because a lot of their talking heads, which both networks have, most of them have, are a younger group now. There's less older ones.
But they're not getting it. Like I said, their average age is 69. The 69 years old is the average age of a person watching Fox News. They're not a young generation, and the problem is they're dying.
The younger generations aren't listening to any of the major news networks.
They're going online to podcasts.
Correct. Right. That's what I'm saying. You're not getting more people aren't coming onto Fox News. You're not going to look at it.
No, that's also true of CNN, whose ratings are way down from Fox's.
Right. But another point I wanted to bring up was, sorry to get off this topic, though, is last time we talked, Duggan was still in the race.
Yeah.
And Massey was still running for Congress in Kentucky. And to me, it's a sad day. Duggan's out of the race is a sad day to me.
It's funny you bring that up because a few of us in the building were just talking about that, how disappointed we were that he dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, it's just a sad day. It's like you can't get in. The political organization will just not allow it, and it's sad. And it's the brainwashed people that voted Massey out down there.
Yeah,
it's like this guy is a great conservative man, and the Orange Goblin comes on and says he's horrible, terrible, the worst ever, and they just believe him.
Well, that's where the money went.
A little.
Yeah, it's follow the money.
Where did the money come from?
The
Came from Israel.
The party.
It came from Israel. Massey is the only congressman to not take money from Israel. Look these facts up. His opponent there was funded by Israel. It's ridiculous. So I mean, we just had a foreign government influence our election.
Think that's whoa! You think that's the first time?
No, absolutely not.
Despite that there are laws against it.
Oh, absolutely. And the people that say 2020 election was stolen, do you think that's the first and last election that was ever stolen?
Well,
that's what I'm going to ask them.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyways,
Tim, we
still a disaster. Take care.
Appreciate the call. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Yep.
Take a break. Come back, and we'll get to Mark when we return.
Service. It's hard to find these.
So we're back with you in studio with me, Jonathan Dent. I'm Art Lewis, and to our phones, Mark is in Carroll. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you guys?
Good.
Hey, I didn't get to listen to all the closest to the pin. Who got closest? The last I heard was 13 feet.
It was.
That stood.
Huh? Good.
13 feet it was.
Hey, my couple questions for you. The other day we spoke about Trump money, and you said, yeah, it's only going to be on his signature. I saw a $250 commemorative Donald Trump bill that potentially could be coming out. What's your thoughts on that?
Do we need it? No.
It's not going to come out.
No, probably not.
It takes way too long to get something like that done, and you'd have to change the law even to do it in the first place. Yeah. No, it's not going to get done.
His signature will be on the bills, apparently, but the rest is not.
So when they do commemorative coins, they have to get all this. They just can't go.
Like commemorative stuff? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, commemorative.
First they have to plan it, and then they have to exercise it. They have to have the artists do the molds and all of that stuff. It takes forever. It doesn't happen overnight.
Well, they did print out a $250 bill. I think it's going to be a commemorative type bill. So
I think Jonathan's correct because I don't think they can use it at legal tender yet.
$250 bill is not a legal denomination.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, getting on the internet, can you clarify for me, because you say don't believe anything you see on the internet. Oh, I'll take that back. Find resources other than the internet. But ABC, NBC, and all your news sources, Midland Daily News, every single news source is on Facebook. You go and you say don't believe what you see on Facebook, but that's the same information I see on my TV at night.
Well, what's the difference? Here's the difference. When we say be careful what you read and see on the internet, there are a lot of anonymous sources that put out things as fact that aren't. I mean, if you find a publication you particularly trust and they're on the internet, it's going to be the same thing like you mentioned the Midland Daily News. Whatever they have online is the same thing that's going to be in their paper.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's different than all the anonymous sources that are out there that spew a whole bunch of stuff from people you never heard of.
Now, what I'll say is different from publication that's aired on TV as opposed to online. You'll follow, for example, let's say an NBC story. Within an hour, that story will have changed the wording of it 3 or 4 times in an hour before it gets to publication on TV. So let's say it's slanted one way. It seems like it potentially is out there for like a half hour. Then they change the heading to not be so harsh, and then they clean it up until it makes it on the airway, and it's not what they originally put out there. So that's my issue with Facebook.
But then you don't know.
Big media is not always straight honest when they put.
I
won't say honest.
Here's the other side of that coin, Mark.
Sure.
You don't know whether those changes were because they got new information, which brought the story closer to what it truly is, or whether they're just trying to manipulate it. If indeed if indeed they are getting information as a story develops, you will find that headlines and content changes. Happens everywhere in journalism. You get new information, you change it, you add it. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
So it's
All
hard.
right, well-
You know, that's why you got to use your best judgment.
Sure. One other topic real quick is we talked about the United States Post Office and what can we do to save money. Oddly enough, Facebook sent me a reel of China over there where they have an actual robot that looks pretty close to being human that can bend and all that. That's sorting their mail for them over there. Do you see that as a product that potentially could come to the United States?
Oh, I think robotics.
I'm not talking pneumatics, or I'm not talking the air pneumatics.
Yeah,
or
no, I
anything
understand,
like that.
but robotics is on its way everywhere.
Yeah,
how soon it gets here, that's a whole other story.
I don't understand the obsession with human-looking robots. Like, why do they need to stand upright and have 2 arms and 2 legs? Why can't...
So that they can do functions like humans.
I want a robot that can...
Does functions. I don't care what it-
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, but it's interesting
Well, they have
because
dogs.
they had robots run a race. This was in China.
Yeah.
And they won.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they didn't have to stop for water. They didn't do any of that. They just kept going. And they looked human. They're kind of choppy when they run, but they're running like a human. They're upright. They balance themselves.
But for stuff like delivering the mail, like, you can have... You've seen, like, the bomb disposal robots. They're on wheels and they just have an arm.
Well,
you can have something like that.
You're not. I don't think you're going to have them delivering the mail around here because, first of all, they'd have to drive and have to have autonomous vehicles and all of that. Whether they work in the post office sorting
Yeah.
and doing stuff like that behind the scenes, that's a whole other story.
That would be a nightmare.
Well, do you think it would go to barcoding for addresses as opposed to numbers? It would be quicker to do barcodes for mail, for piecemeal?
Well, a lot
If
of
they
mail
did
has
that-
barcodes.
If they did that, yeah.
Yeah, if they did it, whatever makes the automation easier.
Yeah, I saw one doing bowling. Perfect
Yeah.
game every time.
Every time. All right. Good
All right,
enough.
have a good
Thanks.
day.
Take care.
Yep.
All right, Gene, hang on. We'll get to you next.
What do bounce houses, obstacle courses,
All right, we're back with you. And back to our phones. Gene is in Bay City. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, fellas. It's my understanding the national parks that they have cut their budget and they no longer are able to afford to keep their bathrooms open. So unfortunately, people going to the national parks with their children,
Where did you hear that?
they have no bathrooms.
Where did you hear that?
Like I say every time, I listen to a lot of different stations, and I really can't tell you where I heard this back like a couple weeks ago that was a problem. But, I mean, the average American, if it came to having open bathrooms in the national parks, or it came to spending a lot of money on remodeling the reflection pool and all those type of things, I think the average American would rather have open bathrooms in the parks.
So, yes, staffing issues are being cited in certain national parks for bathroom closures. This is from USA Today. But I don't think the comparison is fair to be made to the reflecting pool. I don't think the reflecting pool should be paid for by federal dollars. This is just the whole department has gotten a ton of budget cuts. Like the reflecting pool would pay for a few bathrooms across the country to remain open. That's not what's taking away the money. It's that the department has had its budget cut into big time.
And are they closing
But,
all the
you know,
bathrooms or
No.
some of them?
Some of them that, like, if the park can't maintain staffing to deal with the bathrooms, then the bathrooms got to close.
Well, you know, there are so many things that should be cut, but then there's some other things that I really don't think it's right to
What do you
cut
think
them.
should be cut?
Well, if there's fraud or something, of course, all that type of thing.
Yeah, all right.
But anyway, you're an animal lover, Art, and I want to talk to you about a problem. You know, I'm a big animal lover. And in the past, and I don't know when the law was changed exactly, but people had horses, cats, dogs. They could go to TSC or some of these places, and they could buy heartworm medicine, and they could buy vaccines and everything. Now they changed that law that there's absolutely nothing that people can buy for their animals unless they take them to a vet.
Got to have a
And there's
prescription.
a shortage of vets, and they are extremely expensive.
You got to have a prescription.
And, I worry, I live in a really nice neighborhood, nice houses and stable economy people. But down a few blocks, there are older houses that have been made into apartments where there are people that have been living paycheck to paycheck, and they walk past my house and when they're walking their dogs and stop and visit. I'm worried about all these animals because people they can't afford to go to a vet. My one friend, they put it on their Visa card. They had to charge it. They took their dog to a vet for a bad infection for a couple times. It cost them $1,000. And, a lot of, it worries me about what's going to happen to these animals, that they're going to be sick and suffering
here's the bottom
because
line.
people don't have the money to take care of them.
Here's the bottom line. In reality, it's always been that way. There are people who have pets that shouldn't have pets because they can't afford the pet. It's like anything else in your life.
And the laws are changed by animal lovers who think they're doing the right thing,
Yeah,
protecting the animals from
That's the other thing,
unqualified prescribing.
So it's 6 of
Well,
one, half
I don't
a
know.
dozen of
For
another.
years and years,
I-
all my friends and people in my area, they always gave their vaccines to their horses themselves. And I don't know of any time where anybody monkeyed up and,
All right.
and a horse died or something.
I'm going to interrupt because we are out of time. We'll talk about it again. Thanks for calling.
Thanks,
Bye-bye now.
thanks for listening.
All right,
Have a
Jonathan,
nice-
thanks for sitting in.
Thank you.
You bet. We'll be back to close out, tell you what's ahead, which, by the way, is more open phones next hour.
You never thought
All right, we'll be back right after the news with more open phones.
Broadcasting from the